All right. We're live. I don't really know if anybody's going to watch this live or people are just going to watch this on the recording. The Patriots season ends with and I'm actually going to just take this fucking hat off because, you know what? I still have my hair. Patriots lose 29-13 to the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. I can't lie, it's disappointing. It's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. It sucks. And I'll talk about the game. I'm going to take these AirPods out because it's not like I'm talking to anybody. Camera, I'm using a webcam mic here. You know, there's a lot to talk about. The fact that the offense couldn't get anything going. The fact that the offensive line was horrific, especially that left side. Now, two rookies, but two highly drafted rookies. Will Campbell was the number 4 pick in this draft. Jarrett Wilson was pick number 69 in the 3rd round. This team had a hell of an offseason. This team had a hell of a regular season that people said, oh, it was because of the schedule. And then we go into the postseason, and we win 3 straight. And we go to the Super Bowl, and until about 7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, when Drake May, the ball comes out of his hand, he gets it knocked out, and it's an interception, it's run back for a touchdown. I believe there was an opportunity. There was a chance. 1%, no matter how low, I thought, if this goes, when you get to that scenario, a 99% chance you're going to lose, and they lost. I wrote a couple things down. I wrote 3 key points. And I'm going to talk about this loss for a while because it deserves to be talked about. It's the Super Bowl. You get all the way. You go all the way. Your season goes all the way to the Super Bowl. And you couldn't get that last thing done. And that hurts. But at the same time, there are 30, even 31 fan bases that would kill to have that sort of turnaround. To be able to say you lost your franchise quarterback in 2019, your franchise quarterback, he willingly walked out of the door. He said, guys, I'm done. I'm going to go to Tampa Bay. And I'm going to go there and win another Super Bowl. And you're going to go 7-9. You're going to go 7-9. And then you're going to go 10-7. And you think you have the guy. You think you have him for a year. And then you fuck it up in 2 seconds. In 2022, we fucked up Mac Jones. We did. We fucked him up. In 2023, it was the worst season the Patriots had seen since the early 90s. I haven't been alive. I was born in 2003. All I had known is the Patriots being the best, one of the best teams in football, if not the best. They were the model organization, Belichick, Brady, all that. And they had fallen on hard times. There's a lot of teams in the NFL that are just terrible. You tell a Raiders fan, hey, there's an opportunity. If you tell a Raiders fan that's how their season goes, they're ecstatic. You tell a Tennessee Titans fan that that's how their season goes, they're thrilled. You tell 20 fan bases that 6 years after going to a Super Bowl, you're going to go to the doldrums of the NFL. And then you're going to rise up to the top. You're finally going to be able to break through. You're going to be able to get the quarterback. You're going to be able to get the coach. You're going to have the best offseason ever. You're going to hit on all your free agent signs. You're going to hit on all your draft picks. And you're going to take that all the way to the Super Bowl. 32 franchises say that's a great year. 32. Every single one, including the New England Patriots. And this is a place, this is Foxborough. We don't raise AFC Championship banners. We don't raise division title banners. We don't raise playoff appearance banners. We don't raise AFC Conference Finals banners. We raise Super Bowl banners in Foxborough. So there's not going to be a banner that says, AFC champions. Maybe other teams do that. Maybe other teams. They have a little thing that says like a list of AFC champions, and they have the year. But in New England, we don't do that. The measure of success is, did you win the Super Bowl or not? And that's been the measure of success since February 3rd, 2002. And today, on February 8th, 2026, we didn't do that. It sucks. It hurts. But God damn it, I'm proud of this team. They fought. They fought the entire game. They could have quit. They could have been like, you know what? We haven't scored a point in 3 quarters. They could have been the first team to get shut out. You know what they did? They put 13 points up. All right, yeah, sure, it was garbage time. They still did it. They still fought. They fought to the bitter end. Drake May getting pressured all the time. He finally got some sort of breakthrough. He finally got some sort of confidence. He was taking shots. It was too late, but hey, he fucking tried. And that's the beauty of it. It sucks. It sucks. I could also say I'm spoiled as a fan. I've been able to see I've been alive for 5 Super Bowls. 2 of them, yes, I think 2 of them happened before I turned the age of 2. I've been able to witness. I remember 3 Super Bowls. You know how many franchises get to say, hey, we won 3 Super Bowls in the span of 5 years? We won 3 Super Bowls in the span of 4 years? You know how many franchises get to say that? Like 3. Us, we did it twice. Dallas in the 90s. And who else? Kansas City? This time around? Yeah, they won 3 Super Bowls in, 6 years. Or 5 years. They did win 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. They went back to back. Great. Kansas City is a team that, whatever. Forget Kansas City. But, I wrote this down that I'm proud of this team. Like, and I will get to it. I will get to the offseason stuff. Damn it, I'm proud of them. Drake May is an elite quarterback in this league. And you could say, well, he didn't play well in the Super Bowl. Fuck that. Fuck that. Seriously. A lot of quarterbacks have had bad Super Bowls. There's been a lot of quarterbacks with bad Super Bowls. John Elway had a hell of a lot of bad Super Bowls. Dan Marino, what sucks also is Dan Marino had 1 Super Bowl and he was bad. He had 1 Super Bowl. And that's another thing. You're never guaranteed another Super Bowl. You're never guaranteed the opportunity back. Morgan Moses is the longest tenured player in the NFL on this Patriots team. He's been in the NFL since 2014. It's the first time he got to go to the Super Bowl. First time he has been in this league for 12 years. It was the first time he had been to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of rookies on this team that their first experience is going to the Super Bowl. There's a couple of rookies on this team. There's one guy, Travion Henderson, who won a national championship last year and then waited to the Super Bowl this year. He was in the Super Bowl this season, a year after being in the national championship game. So all he's known is winning. But there's a lot of guys that know losing. There's a lot of guys on this team, especially from the last draft class under Belichick, which this year has been proven to be a very good final draft class. 2 years of nothing but losing. That 2023 season was the most pressing season in any sport I have seen as a fan. And you could say, well, you're a Boston fan. I'm also an alumnus of the University of Colorado. And I was there for 2022 when we won 1 game. And that 2023 Patriots season was more depressing. It was more hopeless because I realized that Belichick had lost his fastball when we played the Cowboys and we lost 38-3. And I knew that day that we were done. And I didn't gain that hope back, even after drafting Drake May, even after hiring Mike Vrabel, even after all that. I didn't have that hope that we could do something until beating Buffalo in week 5. That's when I realized, oh, this could be something special. And it was. It was a hell of a year. It was the most fun year I have had as a fan of any team. Maybe ever. Yeah, I've seen 3 Super Bowl wins. I've also had the 2014 season. It then followed with Deflategate. 2016, yeah, that was fun, but we were already on top. 2018, yeah, we won, and it was cool, and it was awesome, and I loved it. But this year, there was something different. Maybe it's because I got to see the bad times. Maybe it's because I literally, in this playoffs, I was here at home for the wild card. I went to London. I was in London for the divisional round. When we won the divisional round, I was like, I have to be at the AFC Championship game. I have to be there. And so I bought a ticket. I was at the top of Mile High Stadium, the top of that stadium, watching this team in the snow, freezing my ass off. I was freezing cold. You saw me in that video. I was freezing. But I wanted to be nowhere else. And if you had told me that if I had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, I would have taken it. I totally would have dropped everything. If I had the ability to go, I would have gone. But being at the AFC Championship game and being amongst Patriots fans that had gone to the game and being in a sports book in London and being with Patriots fans there, even being here in Washington and having an internship where, my boss was antagonizing me for being a Patriots fan every week and saying that we weren't legit and that Drake May wasn't the guy. It was still that much more fun because this team gave me a reason to believe. For the first time since Tom Brady was the quarterback, I had a reason to believe this team could win a Super Bowl. And God damn it, we made it. And you know what? Players want to be Patriots. When I hear things like A.J. Brown wants to be with Mike Vrabel again, and a report from Diana Rossini that Max Crosby wants to play for Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, and there's a hell of a lot of players in the NFL that they're going to look this year in free agency. Maybe it's guys ring chasing. You know where they're going to go to ring chase? They're going to go to New England. Now, I'm not saying go full Commanders and sign a bunch of 35-year-olds. But there's going to be a hell of a lot more players that want to come here, that want to come to New England and win a Super Bowl with the Patriots because we are back, all right? And the odds, I already looked at some odds over the week. I think it was us and the Bills as like the 2 favorites of the eight. I think it was like Seahawks, Rams, Bills, Patriots. But, it is what it is. As for the third point I had in my notes, offseason questions. All right, obviously, left side of the line did not play good tonight. Will they get better? Who knows? Probably. I have confidence that Will Campbell and Jarren Wilson can be good offensive linemen. Do I have confidence they could be a good left tackle and a good left guard? I don't really know. There was that concern with Will Campbell for the longest times. His arms were too short. He only had 32-inch arms, and you have to have like 34, and it really showed. And there's a lot of people that say Will Campbell could be an all-pro left guard. And I don't doubt it. But franchise left tackles are super hard to get. It's super hard. And they took a shot, and they're going to give him that opportunity. Now, maybe year 3, they decide, you know what, we're going to get a franchise left tackle. We're going to trade for somebody, or we're going to draft somebody who's like a more prototypical left tackle, and we're going to move Will Campbell into left guard. We're going to move Jarren Wilson to center. They might even move Jarren Wilson to center this year. As for the other side, Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas, Kayshon Boutte. That's your wide receiver core. Matt Collins, I believe, was on a 1-year deal. He'll be a free agent again. Kyle Williams and Efton Chisholm were your like wide receiver 5 and 6. The question is going to be, all right, so what's next for the wide receiver group? Do they go out and they make a big splash and, they call the Eagles and they offer a first-round pick for A.J. Brown? Do they, maybe make a move for George Pickens? Do they go out and make a move for another player and be like, ooh, we're going to get this guy, we're going to get this guy? I can see that happening. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, for sure, they're going to go get A.J. Brown and Max Crosby and, they're going to trade 3 first-round picks for this guy. No, I can't say that. Now, there could be things like Myles Garrett saying in the middle of next year, you know what? I'm legitimately done with Cleveland, and I want to go play in New England. Because there was a point, I think, at the trade deadline this year, we had an opportunity to acquire Myles Garrett. It was going to cost us 3 first-round picks. That was the opportunity. It was going to cost us 3 first-round picks to get Myles Garrett. Do I think Myles Garrett was Myles Garrett the key to winning the Super Bowl? Hell no. It would have been great on defense. But the defense was amazing this game. Even though it says 29 points, how many points can you give to the defense there? They stopped them a lot in the red zone. It was a very bend out, don't break defense. They only gave it 1 touchdown. But hey, it is what it is. I've been on here probably about 20 minutes. We'll see what happens. The Combine's going to be in a few weeks, and honestly, I have no clue who's going to be around at 31. If you had asked me at this point in the last few years, I knew what we were kind of going after. I knew it for, hey, maybe we have a chance at Travis Hunter. Will Campbell's going to be there, but maybe we got a chance at Travis Hunter. Maybe we got a chance at Abdul Carter. In 2024, it was getting the quarterback. This year, we're not picking in the top 5. We're not picking in the top 4. We're picking at 31. But that's the thing. You want to be picking late because it means your team is almost is there. And so it's incredible to say this team has an opportunity to go back and say, we could be back. And there's going to be a lot of people saying the New England Patriots are going to win a Super Bowl next year. And that's a very reasonable thing. There's going to be, a lot of questions. I don't know if I mentioned Kayvon Chason, our best edge rusher. He's a free agent, but he wants to be back. And there's a world where he comes back. There's definitely a world. It's a very likely possibility that he comes back. Unless you trade for Max Crosby, or you trade for Myles Garrett, or you trade for a premier edge rusher. Kayvon Chason's back because you're not going to get anybody better. Who else is better on the market? Nobody. We had 2 rookies as safeties. Craig Woodson was an incredible safety this year. He was incredible in the playoffs. Linebackers, they were great. Christian Ellis and Robert Spillane playing, inside linebacker. Or no, not outside linebacker. My bad. I don't know why I said inside. I'm playing it on, or no, it is inside linebacker. I was right the first time. Playing inside linebacker, Robert Spillane being the captain of the, being the play caller on the defense. Christian Ellis was great. Milton Williams had a hell of an impact this year. Christian Barmore had a hell of a comeback year. Harold Landry, you know what? He wasn't spectacular, but you're not going to bat 1,000. On offense, we got our quarterback. We have a quarterback in Drake May. And even though people are going to say, oh, yeah, you sucked, the schedule, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Fuck that. This was a good team. This is a team that can be back. This is a team that's going to have a lot of returning players. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they're going to have $60 million worth of cap space. So they could go out and get even better in free agency. They can make a couple phone calls and get better in a trade. They're going to be able to go in the draft and, it's not going to be top 5 guys, but, it's going to be all right, so you're picking kind of the end of the first round, top of the second round. There's the ability to get better. Is it, I'm going to say this team is going to have a hell of a lot harder road next year. This was a very, people are going to say, well, you had a very easy schedule. You had very easy opponents. Yeah, we did. You're not wrong. You know what's going to happen next year? We're going to have a super hard schedule. We got to face the NFC West. We got to face the AFC West. We got to play a first-place schedule. We got to go on the road to Kansas City. We got to go on the road to the Chargers. Well, I mean, that's practically a home game, but because it's the Chargers and we'll probably take over. But we got to go on the road to Kansas City. We got to go on the road to the Chargers. We got to go on the road to play the Seattle Seahawks. That might be like one of the earliest games of the year is going on the road and playing Seattle. We got to go and play the AFC West. We got to play the NFC North. Oh my God, that division's loaded. We got to go on the road and face the Bears. We got to go on the road and face the Detroit Lions. We might be playing on Thanksgiving and playing the Lions. We're going to play the Packers at home. We're going to play the Minnesota Vikings at home. We're going to play a hard schedule. It's going to be a hard schedule. It's not going to be a cakewalk fourth place schedule where you get to play, the AFC South and you play the NFC South. And no, it's not. So for all those people saying the schedule, don't worry. The NFL kind of balances itself out. And you do end up playing hard schedules. We play pretty hard schedules in like 2023 and 2024. And this year we're going to play a hard schedule. Don't even think that we're playing an easy schedule. We're going to play a hard schedule. We got to go. We got to play all the other first place teams. So, not only are we going to play the Denver Broncos out of the AFC West, we're going to go and play the Pittsburgh Steelers, who knows what's going to happen with Pittsburgh. We're also going to have to go play the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that was a team prior to the playoffs. Everybody was saying, you don't want to face the Jaguars. The Jaguars are very good. The job that Liam Cohen has done has been incredible. We got to go play the Jaguars. And that's a really competitive game. We got to go to Jacksonville and play them. It's not going to be something where you get to say, oh, yeah, well, we get to do this. No, we got to go to Jacksonville. We got to go to Seattle. We got to go to Kansas City. We got to go to, all these teams. We got to play Buffalo. We're probably going to open the season at Buffalo on a Monday night. But lastly, I do want to congratulate the Seattle Seahawks. There's a lot of people there. I'm very happy for it. Sam Darnold, Ginger, representing the Gingers. You know what? Representing the redheads with red beards and all that. Congratulations, Sam Darnold. Congratulations to Jody Allen. She saved the Seahawks 30 years ago, and she's got 2 Super Bowl rings. And this might be her last game as an owner because the trust, all the issues with the trust, and apparently the league is like, you got to sell it now. That might be your last game as an owner. And whoever buys it could be like Bezos or something, but she gets to go on top. John Snyder gets to say, you know what? I built this team without Pete Carroll. DeMarcus Lawrence, after 11 years in Dallas and having to lose every year, he's got a ring in Seattle. He gets to go to Jerry Jones and say, I got a ring. What about you? You haven't won shit in past 30 years. Who else? Cooper Kupp. A lot of people thought he was done. He's got another ring. He's got 2 rings. Leonard Williams. He played in New York for 8 years, and he played on 2 terrible franchises, 2 terrible teams. He's got a ring. A lot of players got rings, and they're very deserving. So if I want to end this with something, this one hurts. There's no doubt about it. This one hurts. But damn it, I'm proud of this team. I will see you guys at some point. I might do a video for the combine. I might do a video for the draft. I might do a video in the offseason. I'll try to get more content out because, hey, shit, I'm looking for work. And I got a degree in sports media, man. And if, maybe this is something I keep doing. I've been doing this for 8 seasons, kind of off and on. There's some years I post a couple of videos. There's some years I post a hell of a lot. So if you stumbled upon and watched this, thank you. If you leave, if you've left any sort of interaction, thank you. If you've even commented that I'm a fucking idiot, thank you. Thank you. So with that, the 2025 New England Patriots season has come to an end, along with the 2025 NFL season. We won't see the Patriots play a meaningful game for another 7 months. All right? It's just a fact. We won't see them play another meaningful game until at least September 10th. And, you know, that's it. Good night. Hold on. I got to click the wrong button. So I'll do this again. Thank you for watching Patriots Fan Reaction Season 8. It's been an honor. Good night.